Hello. Actually, no, it's not. It's your upload.
Yeah.
It's Friday night. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the season one finale of Dexter Resurrection. Maybe the series finale. I don't know. Hasn't been officially renewed for season two. I think it's going to be happening. But here we are at the end of all things for this season. I am the Oops. I did it again. Travis Snell, and I'm joined by.
I am the what are you showing me, Kirkland Patzer. I thought it was renewed already. I thought that was like halfway through the season. They announced like
That's
two
the big
more.
time rumor. That's the rumor that no,
Oh,
because the
okay.
rumor is they're renewing 2 to 3. But I think the reason I say it's just because obviously when we lost Original Sin, that probably put some things.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
have to remember too. I know we've talked about Newcast and Dexter that in the last month Paramount got new owners. So that's the thing where maybe that was the plan. But if they look at certain things, the
Okay.
numbers and costs, to go, you know what, and should the show end here? I don't know. We'll talk about that. There's lots to talk about on this finale. For a finale, I thought it was going to be pretty straightforward. I think it was, but there was some. I'll say there's some fun stuff in here, but everything we do is in the links down below for everything you need to know. Our Patreon, which you can get this episode and every single episode we do ad free. You get early episodes, you get exclusive episodes. We just put our top 10 video games of all time on there. Next week, the TV shows will be getting their portion done. After 9 will be coming up next few weeks. And yeah, it's a good time. Soon there'll be a bunch more polls come up for retros, like Christmas retros and Halloween retros. It's always a good time on there. A big shout out to our Patreon producers. Aaron Braden, April of Darkness, Jack Grant, Sam, Super Bad Mike, The God Loves Me 69, Jeremy Rennick, Charlie Randell, Cocktail Clay, and John with no H. We thank you very much. You're the top tier. Again, producers get to choose a lot of the content coming up with because they are the producers, so they kind of pick the way we're going as far as stuff. They're picking our retros, picking big retros for next year, so we'll see what happens. And yeah, we're reviewing Alien right now. Peacemaker, Gen V's starting soon. We got newscasts here or there. We got side quests. A lot of good stuff on the GV feed. So, whether like the audio or video, just go subscribe. We very much appreciate it. Mr. Batzer, non-spoiler thoughts. What did you think of Dexter Resurrections season one finale?
Before I start, was there an end credit scene? Because I just pulled up the episode and I feel like I missed
I don't
something.
think so.
Or no? Okay.
No.
I was scrubbing through and it showed like a clip after the credits, but I think
Actually, there was. It was Christian Slater. He's like,
Yo,
son,
okay,
finally we
yeah.
can talk again.
I'm assembling a team. He's like collecting the James Remar Harry's.
Oh my god.
Um, here we are at the end of all things for season one. I think we're definitely gonna be getting another season. Not that I like because I'm so excited and this was the best episode I've ever seen in the history of Dexter, just because the Dexter hype. There's just something in the air with this Dexter franchise, and I feel like Michael C. Hall is down to just keep going with this for infinity and beyond. And minor spoiler, I feel like it's also kind of set up for like another, just more story there. Take that how you will. I had some fun in this episode. There was also many moments when I was just pulling my hair out, so upset and angry of what was going on. Lot of like lazy moments and just like tying things off and just wrapping things up. It just felt like very quick in many aspects. I don't think I like was that invested though to like say that I wanted it. I want like a redo at it. It's just like whatever. Okay, that's how we're ending this. Let's just move on to the next story. I think that's kind of where I was at with the end of the show, especially just following up last week and the angel things and like. I was kind of talking to you off cast, just through private message or whatever. I'm trying to keep up with my season 5 Dexter watch. It's gonna be the longest watch through I've ever gone through. But just like watching Angel there, and then because of what happened last week, like, oh man, yeah, I know how that character ends, and that's just so upsetting. Now that I know the definite result of all these characters that I'm watching on my rewatch of Dexter, season 5, and. Yeah, but that is honestly better than what I got here because I think this is some hot doo doo in many facets. I'm definitely like I think I'm doing better at like just looking at the show on its own and like not being like, oh, this is just upsetting me because of where we're at of like changing maybe like Dexter's like way he would handle things, or maybe certain mistakes that he shouldn't be making anymore because he's already like kind of gone through that. Just looking at that comparison, I feel like I'm doing better at just judging this project on its own, and it's really not that great. I can't believe how much of a waste they had with Uma Thurman. I thought like she's good, but it's just they gave her like nothing to really work with. And even like I think Peter Dinklage is absolutely fantastic and the best of like the big actors that they brought in for this season. He definitely has a lot of big moments to kind of carry his gravitas and just like his charisma that he brings to like pretty much every role that he has. But it really wasn't until like this episode where I was like, oh wow, like this writing is actually really poor in the sense that like he is actually uplifting the material. I think this episode he wasn't really able to do that all the way, and that just goes to show how rough and lazy some of the stuff were. Like just some of the dialogue he had, whether it was with yeah, never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. But yeah, whether he's talking to certain characters, it was just like, oh man, this is just seems so different than the Praetor that we had even just last week or the week prior to that, and it just really felt like, yeah, let's round out this story and you know, get a fresh slate for next season or whatever the future plans might be if we do get that. Although I truly believe it's an inevitability. I think there'll be an announcement pretty quick of season 2 announced.
After all this, do you, because like uh, podcast is always a weird thing, right? Because we'd watch it, and you know sometimes we talk about, so it's like, oh, we may as well just watch it on, or like talk about on the cast. Obviously, this is a business, so sometimes you know we watch and do things that you know maybe okay I wouldn't be, but it's like we're like it enough anyways, or they're interesting enough to cover, so it's good for the podcast. Taking that all aside, would you be like Resurrection season 2? No Geek first. Are you there?
uh it's interesting because I don't think I ever would have jumped on New Blood without podcasts.
Oh, that's
But I
fair. Yeah.
but I had a fun time with it. Like I had closed my Dexter chapter when I was starting that last season, like all those years back. It was until you know the New Blood and then Original Sin, and just because we're doing reviews, of course I'm invested. But like I also kind of want to see what's going on, so I think I would. There, Michael C. Hall is like he's still really good at being
Still always
Dexter.
good, yeah.
Yeah. There's many mannerisms I feel like that are just so different than that original show. You can make the argument it's just because he's older now. He's getting maybe a little bit cracked up. Not that he's doing crack, but he's
He's getting a little cracked up to make that performance happen. You know.
yeah, he's just not a clean, calculated professional like maybe he used to be. Maybe he's acting a lot more emotionally. Maybe that's to do with Harrison, but I am still kind of intrigued on following Michael C. Hall because yeah, he's still really good, and like there is still I think many good moments even in this episode between Dexter and Harrison that like I am a little bit invested in. There was one scene in particular where I was like, this is actually kind of fun dynamic having Dexter and Harrison just interacting that big factor. You know, now that Deb's gone and just all of his other family is gone there, but and I like the two actors obviously too, so would be checking it out. I believe I think it'd be like a 75% chance that I would, and
There you go.
it's a long answer to your question, but yeah.
Tonight's the night. Where's my stash? Don't do Michael C. Hall like that. Says no, no crack is being done by Michael C. Hall that we know of. Yeah, I don't know where I am with all this. I feel like to say this sounds hyperbolic, but this is definitely one of the worst finales they've done, and I could say worst episodes because to me it's not purely on usually what bugs me about this show and even Original Sin where it's like, oh, it's hurting legacy. I think it has some of that, right? And a lot of that's bouncing off of last week what they did with Batista, but a lot of this episode was just the pure writing of just even in the individual episode things that happen in this episode that position themselves as a problem, and then the result make zero sense. I'm left scratching my head multiple times in this show of like, how is this happening? I want to say something else, but that's a spoiler. Yeah, I think I talked about last week. They kind of squandered the goodwill they had coming back. I wish it did end with New Blood. I would probably still watch the other season if they did that because I do love Michael C. Hall in the role. I am always very curious. Maybe it's just because maybe it could get really bad. I don't know. Maybe it's just because that's embedded from me, or embedded in me. Those first 4 seasons I love so much, and New Blood, and the character of Dexter. But it is. This has been a very tough watch. It's very tough to just process to me how they kind of screwed this all up. And I don't think it wasn't a layup. Don't get me wrong, because we said this before, of like the ending of New Blood. How do you do this show? But there's certain things in the show, even in this episode. It's like I've referred to something happening in the show many times where like, man, I'd love this to happen, and it literally looks like they're gonna do it. They have the pieces there, and they just don't do it. They just don't, and you're just like, out of all the stuff or the fan service stuff, that's why I just like, I would love to be in the room. I know someone a couple episodes ago commented like, I'd like to see you direct the episode. I would just like to be in the room and just certain questions like, okay, if this happens, why does this happen? Or why don't you do this? Like X, Y, and Z. It's just, it's very bewildering. I think there's obviously one fun thing this episode that I quite loved. And then that might be it. I don't think, because there's even stuff in this episode too that just goes against, like the same way the episode 1 had stuff that went against New Blood. This episode is stuff that went against things that happened earlier in the season that just didn't make sense. The way Dexter was acting in this episode, he was a completely different person than he was the entire show. It was fucking super weird. I don't understand what the whole, and like Meyer spoilers, whoever wrote or the approach, the Angel Batista and Dexter Morgan storyline, they just botched that so hard. Like what they even do in this episode, it's like, this doesn't even work in the context you've given me for. I come in here with my preconceived notions of all the other seasons, right? And they say, no, this is not the way we're doing it. We're doing this way. And I go, that doesn't make sense. I don't like it, but right, that's your choice. Let's see what you do. They shit that poorly, and then they go back, well, you know that way you want it? We're going to go back to that way. It's like, it's too late. You can't do that. It's like, there's just certain things, which I'm excited against spoilers, that they are gaslighting us. They're gaslighting, and I just feel like this show, I can't say that for everybody. I just feel like the people that like the show just like Dexter being a killer and doing his thing. I just can't believe, if you are looking at the show from a character arc and well-written point of view, the things that happen. I'll point them out in this episode. Just like they actively fight against things that happened just a couple episodes ago, not even years ago, which is usually stickler for me. Just a couple episodes ago, Dexter's saying one thing and doing one thing, and then this episode he's like completely different, and he's saying shit that doesn't even make sense. So yeah, really bad finale. Tuna Trez told you on Monday I will rank the seasons, but that yeah, I don't know. This is, I won't say for sure because I got to think about it, but I'm pretty sure this is the bottom barrel for me, which I did not think I'd say after 8 or Original Sin. I just think the negatives are really, really big, especially with a couple things here. But yeah, let's just take an ad break. Let's get into it because there's lots of. Oh, sorry, you got something.
Last thing I was gonna say is like this is making my rewatch of Dexter a little bit easier for like where we are of just like even though I'm not loving maybe like the Lumen stuff of what's going on in that season and just just what Dexter's doing there, like there's still so much I can enjoy more so than like the decision that's happening here, because like you said, it's like they're gaslighting us. It's like, why would I get invested in this if they just keep pulling the rug out from under me, and it just doesn't make sense, and there's no explanation other than just they're going out of the way to fuck me.
It feels like, and we've always said this before, right, where we love the shows, but it feels like when we review the animated shows, like recently when we did X-Men, 90, I don't know, 3 or 4 at that point, now it's 97, but when things happen and we go, that doesn't make sense all what they're doing, but we go, right, at the end of the day, it's an animated show that was primarily for kids, right? So that's why and it's a 22-minute episode, so it's like, oh, that's why they don't return here, or that's why that doesn't make sense. But this isn't that, right? It's like an 8-episode, 45 to 55-minute show, and things they don't have to do, they just do. But yeah, let's get to the spoilers after this ad break.
They are going out of their way to fuck me.
And we are back. Says, is Travis told you members only? No, it's on the stream. So either you can watch it now, I'm doing it for the rest of the year, Monday and Wednesday at 12 p.m. PST, or it just goes in the podcast feed a couple hours later once I get time to upload it. So, and Sackless, I did see you comment before we even went live. I don't know if your name's Sackless. I don't know. that's probably not how you say it, but Sackless. Dexter's had some bad finales, but this was the worst of them. Badly written, poorly executed. Absolutely, and I don't know where to start. At least I'll start on a positive, because after this it's probably going to be mostly downhill. I remember on the premiere, especially I think it was a premiere in episode 2 where it's like, oh man, they have multiple opportunities to bring in Brian Moser. Like, why haven't they done that? Original Sin was there. They had the Ghost of Christmas Past opening. They had that moment where he saw the extra killer stuff, the hand and the table that he killed them. Like, man, they're really like screwing this up. And that's where I was giving them some benefit of the doubt, because lo and behold, he's looking at Batista's body and yeah, so clap and oh, oops, you did it again. So I was like, okay, I will reel back exactly what I said in episode 1 and 2, where that makes sense. If you're gonna save one ghost for the end, he is the one, because I feel like that's such a big impetus to Dexter Morgan and a character, right? And even then, like what I've said before, Batista, like what is the point? Because even Brian's like, oh look, it just always ends this way. Like even the fucking worst of the worst is telling you, like, man, like you suck. Like this, like these innocent people keep dying. Nothing happens in that scene. Dexter's just like, oh, I'm happy I killed you when I had the chance.
It was so short.
And it's just Brian beaking at him for a minute, and then he's gone. There was no like resolution. There was nothing like that. And then this isn't a big negative, but this is something to me that I couldn't believe. I was like, oh man. So they have that. He talks for a minute, and they go to Harry. And Ghost Harry is in the same scene. I thought, oh my fucking God, they're finally going to do it. They're going to have the angel on his shoulder and the devil on his shoulder. We're going to get Brian Moser and Harry talking with one another, because not counting Original Sin, I wanted original Christian Camargo and James Remar. Like, I wanted that. It's like, perfect chance here. Nah, they don't do that. They had no interest in doing anything fun with that. And yeah, he was just there for, I don't know, a minute 15, and I don't think he added much other than just like a hype moment. And that's what this show does. It reminds me of like what WWE's doing right now, where it's not the writing of the matches they're not so worried about, but they're worried, like they want to get those big hype moments so you're talking about. And that's where it's like, oh, you see Brian, of course you're hyped. But yeah, what do you think about Brian Moser being back for just to tell him that, yeah, Dexter, you screwed up again. This always happens, which Dexter should know this by now. Season 8, you know, or whatever, like season whatever, New Blood. So this is season 10, really, if you think about the show. So
yeah, I definitely think that was like the peak enjoyment and hype level for me in this episode, was like just the clap reveal, because yeah, it was that big moment of they finally did it. They have Brian Moser here. Has that actor been back since season 1?
yes.
Okay.
So you have something to look forward to.
Still massive
Yes.
moment, right? He always sees Harry. He had seen Deb in the past, and then to get Brian Moser here, like this is a big deal with that actor. And I was hyped, and then as the conversation was going on, I'm like, this is so fucking awesome. Brian Moser's back. This is awesome. Conversation keeps going. I'm just like, any moment here, there's gonna get some juicy, you know, back and forth. Then we just like cut scenes, never shows up again for the rest of the episode. Like he should have been over his shoulder the entire time, I think.
Yes.
And exactly what you just pitched with, have James Remar there also, and then when he's trying to text Harrison, have Brian Moser being like, yeah, this is perfect. Like you can use Harrison to get you out of the situation, you know, and then James Remar is like the angel on his shoulder. Literally, I'm getting goosebumps thinking of that idea. That would have been so juicy.
Yeah.
Even just the dialogue between the three of them, like even if it
It's in
doesn't
his
account
head.
anything.
It's in his head.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it's in his
matter.
head.
It's just a
exactly.
fun. It's if you're going for hype stuff. And even then, I got so hyped because I said to Emily, because she's not seen the whole season, but she's seen this, and I literally saw the scene. I rewound to watch again. I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna see Harrison, and you're gonna see Brian Moser see like his nephew. Like that's gonna be such a fun, like in his head, like the Ice Truck Killer saying like, oh look, you know, the Uncle Ice Truck Killer here or something like that. But no, they didn't even get to that. Like he didn't. He just went away. Dexter threw a chainsaw at him, and he ghosted away.
Yeah, so unfortunate, and I don't want to say I don't want to say I wish he wasn't there, but it's just like, why even go through the effort at this point? But then you can also say the same thing for Angel. You could say the exact same thing for Quinn or fucking Masuka.
Yeah.
You know, like all those appearances, they just use nothing of substance for them. It's literally just like throwing in a lazy Easter egg at us. So pretty unfortunate. I don't think. Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say I don't think they're like as bad as like bringing in Uma Thurman for that, but Uma Thurman is not like a core character, so it's definitely worse what they did with Batista.
Absolutely.
Who has the fucking Shrek theme song as his ringtone for Quinn, which was kind of odd.
Yeah, it
was like a James Gunn level, like, let's throw that comedy bit
Yes.
in there in this super non-comedy scene.
We haven't
It
heard
was so
Batista
strange.
enough. Let's hurt him a little bit more. Let's not give him
Somebody
all
once
star. Like
told-
I think such as more serious Batista. He's been through some stuff. Like you're telling me this guy's got All Star and Smash Mouth as his ring to like what Oh, that sucks for you. Says Brian Moser was the one thing I got spoiled last week because the leak and my algorithms. It wasn't much of anything anyway, bruh. But yeah, still I understand because for us that was a hype thing. I didn't get spoiled on that, but that's one. Now this is gonna come. Actually, we'll just talk about it now because you brought up Smash Mouth and Batista. One, I don't know why it was like a running joke that Dexter kept going back to Batista's body. I don't know why. Like he one time saw, I was like, "Oh, sorry, buddy," and then like, "Oh, I gotta get his phone," and then like, "Oh, I gotta get the thumbprint off him." Like there was like 3 or 4 times he went back to his body, so I thought it was just this weird running gag. But we talked about this last week, and they further continue on it where when they have the face off. Dexter and Batista. Dexter says, "Hey, you know what happens if you come at me? It's not going to end good for you." And even we said, "Oh, we could accept that if we got inner monologue or somewhere else where it just showed, oh, Dexter was putting on a front, but really he was struggling with this, right? Like he doesn't want to take this guy out." No, the only thing we got after that was him trying to frame him as, I don't know, some crazy person to a fellow cop. So again, when he's talking to Brian, he's like, why does it hurt so much here? It's like, what? It doesn't hurt so much here. And like he went back to that body so much time, like, "I'm sorry, amigo. I guess this is the end of the line. This is really goodbye, isn't it?" It's like you didn't they didn't like this is a show that has Dexter narrating all the time. You could have even had him after that car scene talk about how much of a good guy this guy is, but no, that wasn't focused upon at all. It just looked like we talked about this from our point of view. It just looked like Dexter was a piece of shit. That like, "Hey, I'm gonna cut you down if you come after me." There was no emotion there, but of course now that he's dead, he was a good cop and an even better man and all this stuff. And then insult to injury for me. Quinn calls. I'll get in that second. Quinn calls, and then he's like, "Oh man, you gotta get back here. I'm dealing with Masuka. I can't fucking take it." He hangs up, and Dexter's like, "I miss them."
Yeah.
What?
Oh, fuck right off. Yeah.
This is again. If the show was leading to someone pointing in the mirror at Dexter, like showing himself, saying like, "No, you are a liar. You're a deceit. Like you are a villain now. You are a bad guy." But the show's not doing that. You know why? Because he does a whole speech to Prater, like, "No, I only kill." I don't kill innocent people. It's like, no, dude. In the same episode, like Harrison's like, "Last time you called me from a cop's phone," he's like, "Yeah, I know, Logan, but that's not the time." It's like literally in this episode they refer to the time you killed an innocent person, but here he's talking to Prater. "No, I only kill the bad guys." It's like,
Oh man.
so everything from that, but to me that Quinn stuff and the Batista stuff really bugged me that they were trying to that's what I was meaning, like the gaslight of trying to make us think, "Oh yeah, Dexter's really sad about this," because you remember for 8 seasons they were friends. Yeah, but for
He
the last
always
7
made a
episodes,
point of emphasis of like he can never get an emotional connection with people, right?
Yes.
Like he can never get to that level. Like throughout the whole show, that's such a point of emphasis. And like sure, there's a camaraderie maybe, but like he always baseline. He's a fucking psychopath. He's a murderer. He's a serial killer.
and you tell me he
can't get that
misses
emotional side of
Quinn.
people.
He misses Quinn. Like they
Yeah,
had no
fuck
fucking
off.
connection.
Quinn is like trying to get after him for so much of that show. And he
Oh yeah,
fucking
and they
hates
don't
Quinn.
even
He's fucking
bond and
his
stuff.
sister.
But even then, it's just like that's what's so weird is, hey, for 1 to 8 seasons, we're gonna tell you that Batista and him were semi close, okay, but then for these last 7 episodes, they've just done nothing but. He's talked bad to him about Harrison. He, like I said, he tried to set him up with that cop being like, "Yeah, since his wife died, he's fucking crazy." Like he did everything to gaslight Batista, and now that he's dead, he's like, "Oh, one of my last friends." It's like, no, man, and that's what I want. That's what's so frustrating is the fact that they do this now in the finale. That's what I want the show to be. I want the show. That's the huge struggle for Dexter is, man, this guy's after me, but I really cannot kill this guy because he's done nothing. I can't get myself in the mind space to kill this guy because he's my friend. He was friends with my wife, my sister, like all this stuff. Like, and I guess in fucking Original Sin, he was friends with Harry. Like this guy goes so far back, and it's like that's what's frustrating is I wish they just stuck to. Dexter really didn't care, and he is just like, yeah, it is like the code, and I can't get caught, and I'm moving on. But the fact that they made him emotional here, but then the preceding what happened this season, not at all. It doesn't compute. It doesn't make any sense. It was right there for them too. I wouldn't have liked Batista dying anyways, but at least if the whole season was Dexter really struggling with this decision, and it happens again, it's like, oh, that is tragic. But it just feels like Dexter would have killed them anyways at some point, like from what we saw in this show, right? He literally said that, like, there's only going to end one way. It's like, what does that mean, Dexter? Like
Yeah.
what are your plans are? So everything here with Quinn and Masuka and that, like, again, I will say I'm happy I said last week that Quinn better call, and at least he did, because I thought that'd be really fucking weird that if he never did. But now to me you have to follow up on that, don't you? Because he just died, and I would assume that cop would be like, yeah, he was looking into the Bay Harbor Butcher and Dexter
Literally
Morgan's
what we were
alive,
talking
right?
about when he's like, buddy, you got to help me out. I'm going to go after Dexter. Like, just these string
Yeah.
of people that go after Dexter and just get fucking killed.
Yeah. So I feel like Quinn has to be there. In
That's
my
season
opinion.
2. And then fucking Vince Bazooka is going to be season 3.
Yeah, and they're
just
all gonna
gonna
die.
be dying.
They're all gonna die.
Yeah.
And then who else? Captain Matthews, is he still alive? Get him. Like, who else is out there in the fucking Miami Metro and stuff? I don't know. Find
the
Dokes.
whole
Maybe he's a
roster.
sister that became a cop. I don't know. But Aster and Cody probably be next, right? Like, oh, you took out our mom or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, what do you think about all this stuff with Batista and yeah, poor Batista? Just a lot of him on the episode, so just dead on the fucking ground. You know?
Yeah. I completely agree with everything you said. It's very frustrating that they like show us this exciting road to go down of like just the juicy substance between all these characters from the original show, and like this should be like the big climactic, almost like a fucking Obi-Wan versus Vader, like last time they saw each other, right? It was in the early stages back when they were working together, they're both Jedi, and then here we are, Dexter is actually the Bay Harbor Butcher, and this is the big villain that we're clashing with. And they just made Angel seem so dumb too in the show. Like I have my own issues on my rewatch of Batista, but like it's nowhere to this level. He's a bit of a slime ball in in the original show, La Passion. And just there's many moments they make terrible decisions as officers. Maria LaGuerta significantly more than Angel, so I'll give him that. But yeah, it's just so lazy. And like Michael C. Hall's like trying his hardest to like emotionally sell the scene, like when he's selling it, but like with all of his effort, it could be an Oscar-winning performance, but like it just doesn't work for me because of like how it lines up with what's been shown us through the script. It's really frustrating there. Yeah, no, I didn't like any of that. I really didn't like that line when he's like, "Oh, I miss them. I miss Masuka and Quinn." Like,
What?
Fuck off.
Especially Quinn. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
and even Masuka. It's not like, I guess they were close, but
It's like he
just
never liked Vince.
he was
ever.
annoyed with him
Yeah.
all the time. You know,
He
It's
gets
just-
in his business. Just he's annoying. But
I guess they're coming. So season 2, look out.
season 2.
Because I think you have to
know,
do
they're
that,
both
right?
gonna come together like a tag team. I don't think Vince deserves his own season.
But if they want to stretch out this show, they might. But yeah, and again, just like at least with Batista taking out Dexter, I could get excited about that. Quinn taking out Dexter does not excite me at all. Like I don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna say I'm a Quinn defender. I remember I was there in the IMDb boards, everyone calling him like replacement Dokes and discount Dokes and all this stuff. I still liked Quinn enough. But I don't like him enough to be the guy that catches Dexter or Masuka, right? And Batista felt like with the ties to Dokes and LaGuerta, like his former partner,
Yeah.
his former wife,
That
it
was
was
the guy.
prime there. Again, I still wish there was a way that they kept, even if they would have put Batista in a fucking coma, you know, and like, hey, when we're ready to catch Dexter, he'll wake up and then get him. Like, even as cheesy as it is, I would have taken, and maybe he is, maybe that'll happen. Maybe they'll find him. You know, they didn't.
fucking cybernetics enhancements. He's like
Cyborg
a cyborg.
Dokes, man. I told you before, there's a big thing in the IMDb boards. There's this guy, a user, his name was Cyborg Dokes, and every season, in season 3, he had this pitch about, it was an IMDb post, I remember, it was called Cyborg Dokes, and his username was that, and he would now, like, he would make posts on Theory's house. He was going to come back like as an FBI thing, like a RoboCop thing. And every season he would add like Cyborg, like Megatron, Dokes. Like every season he'd get like a longer and longer name. And obviously Dokes never came back and stuff. So I'm not sure if you can search up if anything's out there because it was just a user on IMDb boards and it was a thing. And he kept like, you know, alien, you know, infested Dokes. Like there's a bunch of stuff. Like it was just like Uber Dokes, but the books get as crazy. But do the books get as crazy as Cyborg Dokes? No, they don't. Dokes comes back. Dokes doesn't die in the books. Actually, he just gets mutilated, and he becomes like a shell's form or a shell. Yeah, a shell of his former self, where he's like in a chair and he can't walk, he can't speak. So pretty much like it's
Who
not the
fucks them
same.
up? Not Dexter.
It's not Dexter. No, it's not the
Lila?
same. No, she's not in the books either.
Thank God.
There's a character. You remember the Skinner in season 3? It's not that,
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you do know what Rebo is, that guy. Yeah, he's not the Skinner in the books, but it's a very similar type of character, and it's something where I think it's like Dokes is looking for Dexter, and he bumps in this guy, and Dexter, kind of the same thing as Lila, doesn't really save him, like almost could, but has a chance to, but doesn't because Dokes is a thorn in his side. So he just lets Dokes get fucked up, and then yeah, he's just in a chair, he can't speak, but he always knows Dexter's up to something. He still gives him the look when he's like because there's one book he comes to Miami Metro and he's like in the chair and he's like Dokes is peering at him and stuff.
One of these?
Yeah, well, he couldn't even do that anymore in that book.
I guess so.
Yeah. But let's see. So we got that. Yeah. So R.I.P. Batista. And the first second when that clapping was happening, I actually thought it was gonna be Batista. I thought at first I thought it was gonna be a ghost
that would've been
Batista
fun.
talking to him. But no, it was not. We just got Smash Mouth. So then, yeah, he gets Batista's phone, figures out, oh, that's how we're going to get to Harrison. He's calling Harrison, who's just tossing some salad. And the girl very aggressively opens the phone and says, hey, Harrison's busy. He's busy, choking on myself or something like that. And like, oh, it's your dad. Yeah, just random ass sex scene, snood, cool. That happens. Again, I don't know. Dexter, terrible person. Doesn't want his son involved in any of this. What's he doing? Well, Harrison, come down into the safe where this killer is and all this stuff and trying to help me bust out of here. So, yeah, Dexter is helping Harrison to get some help. He gets there. There's a whole back and forth about a code. Dexter's, of course, like, I guess it's fine. I can buy Prater's code is in the safe and it's the code of the guy. Like, I guess just feels very all convenient to like to put the code in the safe, but I
Yeah.
digress.
I'm glad it wasn't like an actual sticky note. I thought it was actually going to be
Yeah.
that, like, in case of emergency, here's the code. Like, he actually had to figure it out, so I am happy. It was a little cheesy when he's like, wait, that's not it, erase it. Like they have one chance. I feel like
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to erase it in those
No.
those instances, but I am at least glad it was like the prisoner number of that guy that he was obsessed with. Like, that makes more sense than that specific date to me, at least. And yeah, I don't know. It wasn't the worst part of the episode of him like coordinating with Harrison. I didn't love when Harrison's just like walking around with an AirPod and his phone out. I'm like, man, it's such a high end like catering thing. Like, okay, they say they don't notice the help, but I feel like an AirPod. Like, it's just
pretty
so
obvious.
so not yeah. So it's just so
A big
amateur, it
AirPod
looks
of
like.
that too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
just sticking out.
exactly.
He's looking like a fucking like RoboCop or something. But
Yeah.
then I also thought too when he had to escape later on the episode, he would be the worst Hitman player of all time. Like, I
Oh,
feel like
man.
he's taking the worst routes and like he's walking very broad shoulder move. Like, even that time when he went behind the plant and then Prater saw him, it's like, why are you moving out like that? Isn't there not like another side of that plant
Yeah.
you can like slip by? Like, they clearly I just felt like they got a set and they're like, well, there's not much we can do with this. I see them getting there that day. Like, this is a little smaller than we thought it was gonna be, because I just felt like they're making the actor go to certain areas and situations that just didn't work. But
Where's the fire escape? Where's the fire escape? Oh,
we don't
have
got one of those. We got
set.
two
Yeah.
doors. Two doors. All right. So because even the way like when he Prater sees him, right? We're skipping all over because we'll get back to Uma Thurman, but like he's on the escape at one point. Prater sees him. He runs to the security room. He's like, "Oh, turn off all the cameras. We're gonna go get him." Like, I guess Prater just knows this area, but he literally quick time traveled
Oh
over
man,
to Harrison.
instantly.
Harrison's
he was like
at
he
the
was
exit.
like Friday the 13th. Jason just teleporting across the map.
You don't
He's
want to
like,
do that,
cut the
son.
lights. Give me that gun. He's like, freeze. Surprise,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
So yeah, I just thought it was funny how he got over there very quickly and everything. But yeah, they're having the gala. They get Dexter out of there. We'll refer back to what Dexter found later on when we talk about movie at the end, because there's some stuff in there. But yeah, they get him out of there. But then what happens is, I guess we did mention this before. Charlie, which they had this terrible joke of her being Charlotte Brown, so people kept calling her Charlie Brown this episode, which, all right, cool. Not what I need after Angel Batista just died, but I digress. So she finds Harrison. She has him at gunpoint. Dexter finds some incriminating photos of her and the mother, and he pretty much just kind of makes a truce, and she kind of goes, well, I'm not going to help you guys, but I'm also not going to kill you guys. You're on your own. Gives Harrison much needed advice, like, you should just fuck off and get out of here. He should probably take that advice, but he doesn't. He's going to save his dad, right? And then we get this scene where she walks downstairs and, Prater just does this whole thing. I'm going to match with these donations, start with 10 million. And man, I feel like, like, again, not actually, but if we're talking about Coke, man, I think he was doing this because like he's trying to be Prater talked about like, oh, I killed someone finally. It felt so good. But man, some of these shots of Peter Dinklage when he's like, another million. Like
Yeah.
he was channeling like his inner Jim Carrey here.
Let's
a
get this
couple
place
se-
fucking going. Like he's just a
Yeah.
hype man.
Yeah, like it's like you're not the DJ, man. It's your party. But I digress. So he's doing that, and then he sees Charlie and tries, and then he walks. You shouldn't be down here. We should go talk somewhere else. Like, oh no, I don't work for you. I quit. So like, there's a lot that was discussed here. But my biggest thing is this is where I stumble in the non spoilers of things just within this episode that make no sense. She goes, hey. I know you're blackmailing me. You got all this stuff on me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of here. And if you don't let me get out of here, I'm going to give the cops X, Y, and Z, and you're going to be incriminated with this, right? Or I'm going to say she has all these threats, right? And he's backed in a corner, and they kind of agree. And then she puts the addendum of, but for me to also agree with our arrangement, you have to keep paying for my mother's treatment. And because they've talked about how expensive medical bills are, et cetera, everything, right? You got to keep paying for them. And they agree. She leaves. At the end of this episode, it's just her getting her mom, putting her in a taxi, like, we gotta go. And she's like, what about your students? And it was like, we got a lot to talk about. I don't know, but she made this, like, the whole deal of leaving Prater. The last episode, she did not leave Prater because she couldn't, because her mom, right? She needed the money for the medical bills. So in this episode, I understand that she makes a deal with Prater. Hey, I'm gonna leave you alone if you pay for these bills. Prater is now dead. We will get there, but Prater is dead. He is chopped up. He's, I don't know, a couple feet away from the fucking Statue of Liberty. We'll also get there in a bit. But, like, there's no money coming in. So that's where something that's like the whole motivation for this character was to make sure she had the money for her mother. And that's gone. It's not talked about at all. Doesn't matter. Uma Thurman's just out of there. She's no reason to run. Prater's dead. She has all the files. She's no reason to just upheave her mother. So I didn't understand that the plot point at all in this show where, yeah, give me the money. Prater's dead. How you getting that money now? You know?
No, it didn't make any sense there. I thought it was even a little like eye rolly when they like get her to leave. Like it was just that simple. And it's
Yeah.
not even like, okay, well I'm gonna take Harrison and then you're on your own, fucking Dexter. She just leaves and Harrison's right there. It's like, all right, Dad, I'm gonna help you out now. Like they just get out that easily. It's not the biggest stretch because like, okay, I'm done with Prater. Like this isn't my job anymore. So like I do kind of buy that, but just like what an easy way to get out of that situation for them, right? But then yeah, everything afterwards, you're completely right. They're so inconsistent on like, okay, I can do this because of X, but then they just completely throw that out because she just takes her mom away, and it's like we're going to my childhood home. I'm sure Prater paid her well, so maybe she has some money. Maybe she could pay off some bills, but it was just such a major point of emphasis. Like you need to be paying my mother's bills, and like if Prater didn't die, like I think she just would have, like I think he would have just fucking killed her, right? Like
Yes.
eventually just hire a new Charlie Brown, and then just get that Charlie Brown, take out this Charlie Brown, and Bob's your uncle.
And
it was
so
just
funny,
super corny and like Saturday
Yes.
morning cartoon type. Like okay, that's how we're gonna handle this situation.
And it's funny, they never really got more into. Remember the serial killer she killed to be in this season? That was part of the club or whatever. Remember she like hit a guy with the head of the baseball bat or something. Maybe he wasn't part of the club. But remember that whole?
I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, what was the point of that? Just to
Yeah.
show Charlie was a badass, I guess. So yeah, she
Right.
can mess you up, but yeah,
And
I
she
kind
didn't
of.
even take out Christian Ritter because that was just fucking sketchy guy at the prison guard, right?
That
He
was
just
sketchy
choked her
guy,
out.
yeah. No, I kind of wish they just killed her off, and that was it. They gave Harrison a win or gave Dexter a win, and
We don't
that's
see her
it.
again, right?
No,
Like, if we get another season.
no,
Yeah,
I don't see
she's-
any reason to, and
yeah.
nor would I really want to, which is not a thing I like saying about Uma Thurman. Usually, I'll
Mhm.
take more Uma Thurman, but yeah, I just what a waste overall of a character. Because even that, it's just if we were gonna get to this point where she kind of helps him out a little bit, why didn't you just do the full good guy turn last week? You know, not to fake us out of they come to some agreement, she fakes, and because this wasn't even like a I'm pretending to help him, but don't worry, I'm gonna get you guys out of here. It's because Dexter found more evidence on her. Like he just like got a better one up than Prater did. That's all he did. It was not anything for the character to have a motivation of I'll be good. But yeah, I digress. So yeah, see you later, Charlie Brown. Prater. Let's see. the party happens. Yeah, he gets Harrison, and now he's talking about he's got a thirst for it and an urge and whatnot. And for some reason, Dex. Oh, I forgot about this all, but now I remember. Oh, so he has Harrison at gunpoint, and Dex like, "You shoot me." It's like a rerun of New Blood and everything. And then he's like, "Oh well, I always had like I can't remember the line, but he's pretty much just like blah blah blah, protection for my son." And then they have this flashback of at the night when he was gonna go have his booty call instead of condoms. We didn't see as a viewer that he gave him like one of Dexter's syringe, which I guess just Harrison knew to just bring with them all the time, and he just had that ready for that exact moment. And but literally, they just say that he hits Peter Dinklage, and Dinklage is out. Not even like a struggle, just hits the floor.
It was instant. He was out instantly.
Yes. Yeah, it was just, I know they usually are, but this felt like quicker. This felt like they did not have a scene, like an in-between scene, and you're like, fuck, this is the best we got.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I've been there where I had something like, oh, we don't have this, fuck, this is how it's going to look, okay, but so, and then like we said that, or like I think we all said, but especially me, I think because Taylor maybe thought Prater could make it out. I was like, no, that's not happening. Prater's gonna end up on the kill table. He did. He gave Harrison Red's thumb so he can get out of there. He can sneak out of that for real this time. And then Dexter was gonna take Prater's thumb. And then yeah, I talked about this already at the beginning, but this. I don't know. This was a weird kill room for me because I think it was well acted, but like I said, I didn't like the whole oh yeah, I kill innocent people, which we know he many times doesn't. And the whole thing when he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna put you in your box or my box," and Prayer's like, "Oh, I knew you'd come to your sense, all that money," and he's like, "No, I don't even want to remember you." It's like, I don't think Prater did anything really that bad. Like if you think about all the people, like I feel like I just like why Prater? Like okay, I guess they're just trying to say because he maybe threatened his son. I guess maybe that's it. I guess we'll have to see what happens in further seasons if we get them, but him saying like, and I don't want to remember you, maybe I guess because it's Batista. I just felt like whatever emotional beat they're going for here was not earned in that moment there. But yeah, makes the plunge, and Prater's no longer with us. So
yeah, there was so many frustrating moments with this. I'll start kind of where you ended of like the blood slide decision. It's like, wait a minute. You're not even worth being a trophy. It's like, fuck off, man. Like, you've killed so many lesser people than this individual, and like you still trophy them. Like, you're still gonna fucking remember this guy. I guarantee it. You still kill him. You still do the whole ritual, except you don't take the fucking blood slide. Like, it just felt like in the writers' room, they're like, oh, this is gonna be such a badass moment. Like, he's not even worth being in the box. You know, like one of those big like line drops, and it just did not have that effect on me at all. Yeah, when he's strapped to the table and they're kind of dialoguing, like it's definitely well acted. Kind of a strange kill room, but I don't know, just the creepy props all around them was kind of eye catching. But getting back to before that, I was so just frustrated the whole like showdown where he has Harrison at gunpoint, and in my mind when it's like I'm either gonna kill Harrison or I'm gonna kill Dexter, it's just like why in any world would Prater, if he's gonna kill one of them, why would he not kill both of them? Like seriously,
Yeah.
like you're gonna pull the gun. You're in a vaulted area where it's like you can easily. It's just such a major factor to leave one of them alive. It's like just fucking shoot Dexter because he's the biggest threat. He's probably just gonna charge you if you shoot Harrison first. But either way, like you have them at gunpoint. Like there's no way that you're like not gonna be able to get out of the situation if you're Prater with the gun, and it just. It's just no. We're gonna take out this Scooby Doo type villain. And yeah, you just got that fucking needle on him.
yeah,
all the time, ready to go. Quick shot there, shoots the ceiling, out on the ground. And then that would have been. Oh no, that was after the sequence. I also just have an issue, with. So yeah, that was that scene. Didn't love it by any means. I was so just bothered why Dexter like shooed Harrison away in the first place. Like when they're in the vault and it's like, no, you go your own exit strategy, and then I'm gonna look for this print and do my own fucking thing.
Why doesn't he just come with them?
Literally, like it seems like Dexter
well, no,
because
he wanted to kill Prater.
time.
That's what. Well, so I agree with you on that point. The first point we can chalk up to he wants to kill Prater and he doesn't want Harrison to be around, right?
Okay, fair enough.
Well, no, it
I'll give
doesn't,
it
because no, in that moment he's
leaving Prater.
Yeah, no, I guess that's before. That's when he's collecting the files, right? Because Dexter, I didn't want to talk about it to the end, but he's a fucking maniac again. This is why I can't take this character seriously. He's all about saving himself and his son, but he's just like, I need these fucking files, and they make Michael see all beast, like, and then he's just like, that's my fucking box. Like, he came off as such, like, again, we talked about this, how in New Blood they specifically went out of their way to say, I'm not needing blood slides, I'm not that type, I'm an evolved monster, I don't fuck. Like, Dexter literally looked at the blood slides and New Bloods like, like, I was a bitch for doing that, I don't need that anymore. And now we're back to like, oh my fucking god, give me this.
These
like
are mine.
yeah, the way he was scrambling for all the fun, and even goes Harry's like, you don't have time, son. And that's where you're right, like the amount of time, and even how bold was it to, I'm gonna kill Praetor and bag him up, just fucking leave him. Just leave him. He's
Literally, I thought he was gonna kill him and then hit the code, and then that was gonna be it, because the
Run.
cops are gonna find Praetor and be like, "Holy fuck, he's a shady guy.
Yeah.
Clearly, somebody killed him." But like, you know,
even
all these
that's
things.
risky though, because he doesn't need to hit that code, right? Eventually, someone's gonna go to the penthouse and find it. The fact
that's
that
true,
he
too.
has like 6 bags with him, hits the code, and the cops are running up, and he's like, well, it's like. Literally, like, again,
I would
because
have
I know.
loaded the bags before I do the code. if
Oh yeah,
anything.
no, he was
That's a lot
pimping.
to
He's like, I
haul.
got time. Like, and I know because, like, obviously, if people don't know, Dylan on Geek First, like, he liked the Batman because he liked that aspect of Batman not being perfect. But that was always the thing from other movies. Like, man, Batman can just do anything, right? Like the joke I always said in Geek First, like, well, with prep time, Batman can do anything. And Dexter is like uber Batman, like, and Dexter's not. Dexter doesn't even
He
need
doesn't
prep
even need
time.
prep time,
He just
yeah.
needs 5 minutes to be like, okay, what should I do? Got it. Good to go. Like, he's fucking what's that pill movie with Bradley
Oh,
Cooper?
Limitless.
Yeah, he has the limitless drug. That's what's in those blood slides, is the limitless drug. But I could not believe he took all those files, and not just, it wasn't just like a nice, like, here's a binder, here we go. It's dozens and dozens of loose file that he's sweeping up. Had to get his, these are mine, the blood slides. He got it out of there. But yeah, the amount of time. That felt, again, very video game, where you're in a hitman level and you've just killed all the cops and you can just do whatever. All the security's dead. You're just walking, switching disguises, and yeah, he killed Praetor. But I could not believe all that stuff. He had time to clean the room. He cleaned the
Yeah.
room, you know. And
I
even
forgot about
like,
that actually.
because, like, I guess what's the point? Like, is there any difference from Praetor being missing to dead? Like, don't you think it would almost be better to leave his dead body there? Because, like, well, like, I guess they don't think case closed. I guess they think he ran, but at the same time, they're still looking for Praetor, right? Obviously, Dexter got the files on him, but I just didn't understand, like, why do you need to chop him up? You know, like, why do you need to take him and everything like that?
It's his ritual, right? But it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't be the ritual
No.
because he didn't take the fucking blood slide. Like, it's just
Exactly.
so wishy-washy and back and forth with their decision making, because they want to do one thing and then they switch it up and then they go back and then they switch it up again. It's frustrating.
Well, let's take an ad break and we'll talk about something even more egregious that he did with those body bags. So we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. So you would think, right? So he has these body bags. For some reason, he looks on the wall. He's like, oh, perfect escape plan. Like I said, just like a Hitman mission. He sees a yacht. Praetor has a fucking yacht, right? So his
Looks
idea...
like a super yacht too.
Yes.
Fucking
Not
big.
not a Dexter slice of life boat where you can sneak...
No incognito on this
that you
boat.
can sneak in into the police bay from. It is a massive... It is like, if you're playing Grand Theft Auto and the 5 most expensive things, you have a list of them, Praetor's boat would be one of them.
Where you need like a crew of like 30 probably. To
yeah,
just
and
take it out
do
of the
6
dock.
missions in a row at the top successful rate. You need a Helldivers 3 5-stars on suicide missions to get this boat. So Dexter's cruising around on this massive boat. That's one. I'll tie it in. Like you said, not incognito
And
because...
Asterisk. Shay reminded me of this. If the cops think that Praetor is at large and
yes.
murdered these people, why would they not be looking for this massive
Why would you take his
yacht?
boat? Why would you take
I didn't really
his
think about it
boat?
at first, but then Shay commented on that. I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
you're completely right, actually. That is
Yeah.
so fucking
That was
stupid.
one of my points where it's like, this man is, because you know what's different? This is why it's like, I understood of, I guess we were talking it out, like, okay, you want him to be missing because if he's dead, they got to look into the murder. But you know, the good thing is, if he's dead, they're probably not going to think, oh, someone's on his boat. I bet if he's missing, They might go, what
There's
is
fucking
Prater?
helicopters,
Yeah.
like-
Well, that, and also they would go down the list. What does Prater own that he could get out of here? What vehicles does he own? What property? What fucking boats? Especially, they could look to their right and be like, oh my god, he has this boat on this photo. Maybe
There it is, because it's
Yeah.
so fucking big and you can see it everywhere.
yeah, maybe he's on the, and this boat, not even just a big boat, it's a big boat with fucking LED green lights on it and stuff. Like, you could be seen from the North fucking pole. But Dexter, nah, I'm gonna take Prater's dead body and drive here. And here's the piece de la resistance. Here's the fucking cherry on top, because they thought they were cooking here, ladies and gentlemen. They thought, oh man, we got something really great, the imagery, the scenery, but it's fucking dumb. You know why? Because he's dumping the bodies, and then at one point they go to a wide shot, and I don't know, maybe 100 to 150 feet behind him is the fucking Statue of Liberty. This is New York City. Now this is New York City looking for a dead AK or possibly missing billionaire. His boat is on just the bay. To me, it's like, if your boat can be that close to the Statue of Liberty, you can't tell, there's no like, it's like dropping a fucking dead body. Like, no one with binoculars at side could be like, what's that guy doing out there? Like, and granted, I'm not saying there's a bunch of people watching, but I mean, like, New York, I've been there. That is, when people say, oh, Vegas is a city that doesn't sleep, New York's a fucking city that doesn't sleep. I was after wrestling, and not just wrestling, I'd be in New York like 3, 4 a.m., heading back to the hotel with my mom and sister, or dad and sister. It is busy. Like, it's a lively town. So I'm not saying, of course, everyone's watching, but for me to suspend my disbelief for him to already be on this boat of this missing billionaire that now is questionable stuff he owns, to be that close to that close to civilization, just dumping a body. And all the time he's always like, well, I dump a body here because the stream picks up, goes here. Like, what happens if his fucking boy just washes up on shore? Like,
Yeah.
he's not planning this out. And I guess he did a quick Google, and he's like, oh, the New York Statue of Liberty stream, or Lady Liberty stream, you know,
I missed that
will
line. That's so stupid.
No, that's not true. I'm just saying that's probably what he'll say. That's in his mind. That's what
I
he
see,
found.
yes.
You know?
So they don't even go through the effort of explaining it. Cause,
No, because they don't care. They're so lazy.
It's
They
true.
just don't care. You know?
Also, like, your point of, like, people just being on the Statue of Liberty looking out, you know, there's a however many billionaires there are. I feel like people usually know the billionaire yachts. You know, it's like,
Yes.
oh, there's fucking Leon Prater's boat. They see this man
He's
who's
doing that
not Leon
gala
Prater.
tonight. His big gala. That's like he's an
Yeah.
advertised event happening right now.
He's like fucking Bruce Wayne. Like, everybody knows what this guy's up to.
He's on the news.
And then
you
there's
know?
this guy just taking out his boat on a free ride, just solo
Dumping his
piloting it.
body.
Yeah, and like, how is he gonna ditch this boat?
Yeah, how's he dock it? Couldn't you imagine season 2 opens up,
Season
he
2
docks and he just gets arrested right
Or
away.
he's like
but
in Costa Rica or something. He just fucking like full.
Harrison, full beard again. Hasn't shaved. Yeah,
Goes
I'm
back
just
to
right.
Iron Lake, that female cop from
Yeah, I
New
told you
Blood
not to
is the new
fucking come
villain.
back.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I didn't understand completely.
She's like,
you
okay,
know.
I forgive you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, did you catch Batista? Oh yeah, another killer got him. I tried to save him though. Oh, you're a good man, Dexter.
Your friend
know.
Quinn is here too.
What the fuck's going on, Dexter? Huh? If he doesn't bang up Prater, we don't get that screenshot saver or screensaver ending. And that's what I mean by when they're in the business of doing hype moments with this show. That's it. Somebody sat back and went, what if our final shot is Dexter on a boat by Statue of Liberty? It's like, sure, but that's fucking dumb. It doesn't make sense. That doesn't work. That doesn't track with what we know of Dexter. And that's why it sucks, because I feel like eventually we're going to have more bad seasons than good. And the Dexter that we know, like, Idiot Dexter's gonna have more seasons, so that's gonna be the more common Dexter, and that's like, we're so close. I think we're at the even point, because if there's 10 seasons, I would say we're 5 and 5, maybe 6 and 4, because I would count the first 4, 7, and New Blood. So that I'd say we're 6 and 4 right now. We're still above average, but we're getting closer. And you could, if you want to, you can count some original sin stuff in there if you want, but I won't, because that's early Dexter, right? He's learned everything, but yeah, so who knows what happens with that boat? I guess he docks and then just walks off like nothing happened. You know, there's gonna be no security footage at all in New York City on
No.
Prater's boat. You know, it's like, remember in the first episodes or two, and they're like, oh, there's this one part of New York that no one goes to, the homeless people, those cameras,
Yeah.
even the cops
Oh,
want nothing
man.
to do with it. It's like, that's bullshit. But okay, fine. At least you try to gaslight me. This is not even like, yeah, he just got on there. Like there would be cameras everywhere. To
Yeah.
like even just driving from his gala to the boat, like there'd be cameras everywhere
Yeah.
in New York City. You can't do that stuff. That's why Iron Lake worked, because Dexter picked this buttfuck nowhere town that didn't have technology and camera. They didn't
Yeah.
even have a blood splatter guy, right? Like it just you can't do. That's why New York, yeah, spatter, yeah. Like you can't do this in New York. He can't get on Prater's
No.
boat, but he did. You know.
No, it not great there. It did remind me of the scene. God, what episode would it have been? He's bagging up somebody, and then he's like putting him in the car, and then some pedestrian's like walking by on his phone, and then Dexter like panics, but the guy's just
Yes.
not paying attention at all. There's definitely those people, pedestrians, but when they're looking for this billionaire guy, guarantee you, like majority of the blocks in New York probably just have cameras, like everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes. We have cameras like that in Kelowna. Then fucking New York's going to have them. Like you're telling me New York doesn't have that? So, oh, yeah. I have other stuff, but let's see. Yeah, like I said, I know people in the comments before bugged me about Travis is the only person that care about Logan, but at least they brought him up in this episode. But again, no resolution, because Harrison said, oh, the last time you called me from a cop's phone, it was, and he's like, yeah, I fucking know Logan, but we don't have time. And then this scene proceeds to end with Harrison being like, I'm glad I didn't kill you, Dad. And Dexter's like, yeah, me too. But again, it's still like, yeah, but what that innocent cop he killed, man? Like, your dad's
Yeah.
a fucking terrible person, but whatever. Let's see. Yeah, we talked about the trophies.
Didn't talk about female cop and her staying alive.
Oh my god. You can take that one.
This
first.
was like, I feel like I was pretty checked out on everything here, but this like somehow brought me to the depths of hell. And she was leaving the party, and then the song comes on, and I thought it was gonna be like a eureka moment, like I fucking figured it out. I know what Prater's up to, and like that
Yeah.
was gonna be it, because every time she hears that song, she like activates her like super detective powers, and she just pops off, and she can get dialed in. No, fuck that. This character who like doesn't show any like personality really throughout the whole show just decides to turn around, go on the disco dance floor, and just fucking boogie. And she like drops a line to her cohort. Can't even remember what it was. She's just boogieing, and that's all she's doing really in the sequence. And then the alarm goes off, and I already hated that her putting on the headphones with that song. Like I just hated that sequence. This was like the encore version. Like if you like that, wait for the fucking halftime show performance of a lifetime. That's what this felt like, but in the completely negative direction for myself. I was really just upset with what was happening. That's in the Discord I threw on the what are you showing me? Like, oh god, like really? We're fucking doing this here? Like this episode has been bad enough. You gotta throw this on.
What are you showing me? Come on.
For people that
Literally.
don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I really don't like, because she's leaving. That makes her stay, and then the thing goes off. Just don't make her leave. Just make her stay for the ball, and then the thing goes off. She's there. That was like another just like kick of like, man, they're really hitting us with everything in this episode. And again, if there's a season 2, no disrespect to those actors, I just hope I don't see those fucking characters ever again.
Man, I was actually getting excited here because her cohort, don't remember his name, detective
You want him
whatever.
to be Ripper?
There, literally, I was like, this is actually could be interesting if this is set up for season 2. It's not revealed, but like it's revealed to the audience of like, I don't know, there's something sketchy with him. Just to have that dynamic, knowing that I don't care for this character, but like her whole life's goal is to catch this fucking Ripper. Like it's at least something, right? It's at least something to get a little bit of hype going into next season. No, it's not that at all. He's literally just checking her out and licking his lips, and that's what that was. I thought it was like actually going to be something sinister, and although I don't care for these characters, it's at least something like interesting there. And no, they just boogie, and they're just really nothing characters, and no attempt to really try and elevate them in any sense, and try and set something up there. And they just gave us some random fucking dude's name as the Ripper, which is just like, oh, okay. Why did we spend all season like getting excited about this character? It's fucking Joe Blow. like nothing. Like it can't even be like a B villain from season 2 Dexter. Like really, we can't pull
don't
from
put it past
anyone.
the Dexter fans. Don't put what they, because now
Is it? Like is it actually a name?
No,
Do you
so
know?
no, it's not. It's not all. As of right now, it's just some random guy. I think they'll leave it as some random guy, but everyone's having the conspiracy theory of like, well, that could be an alias that Jonah's using and stuff. Like,
Okay, I see.
that,
The fucking
yes,
Reddit posts.
yes, that's how they're coping right now. It's like, well, it has to be someone else. But as we've talked about before, there's been many reveals in the show, and I legitimately do because. To me, I was talking about this because Taylor messaged me this morning because he'd watched the episode, and the way this, like, we can kind of tie it in with the ending here, but to talk about the Ripper, I'm not saying he's going to leave New York completely, but I would imagine a lot of this show he will not be in New York because now he has this file of a bunch of killers, right? And granted, if you were to pitch me on a season 2, that for me is the way to go. If you were to really say, hey, we're not actually going to do much character development, we're not going to do arcs, we're just going to be like, Dexter is, let's say we got 8 episodes, and I'd like them to be a little longer. So let's say we got 8 episodes, and each of them is a 2-parter. So you get to meet 4 killers this season, and it's like an anthology. You go where he goes back to Perry, goes to Australia, he goes to Canada, like he goes to a bunch of places to take out these people and move
Literally
along.
like World of Assassination. How you have like
Yes.
the Hitman games that are story driven, and then they're just like, fuck it, let's just go back to basics where he's just contract killer.
Yes, and that's what I think is just do that. We don't need a big bad. We don't need anything like that. Like just do Dexter's on the move. So I know he talked about like, oh, with people like Blessing and Harrison, like fuck Blessing, man. Like the
Oh
fact
man, that shot to Blessing.
that, Dexter, you want to dance with me and my wife?
I need people like this in my life.
Yeah, it's
Dexter's
like
saying.
you've been fucking annoyed with Blessing like 85% this season, dude. Like,
And he's
I
been
don't
like
know.
bipolar at times.
Dexter!
His Blessing character, like
wanna
they made
fuck
him
my-
unnecessarily
Yeah.
sus for no reason at all.
They didn't even have a because remember last week when I said and Mike pointed out like they've done a lot of stuff. I'm like, why are they still running with the storyline? You betrayed my trust, and it's like, why are they still doing this? In my head, I'm like, it must be leading somewhere. What's it lead to? Oh yeah, and he's just dancing to his wife with a record. It's like, what was the point? What was really the point of any of all
Blessing's
this?
daughter, like the
Yeah.
son-in-law, like what a
All of
waste in
this.
hindsight.
All this, and it's just like, it just feels odd. Like, sure, I guess that this fucking New York Ripper identity could be some sort of alias to somebody else, but I don't think that is. I think that was Dexter's way of he's leaving some for that cop. She's been working on this case the whole time. She gets the thing. They're gonna find it some guy that's dead or something like that, and maybe they'll pick up with a copycat. I don't know, but the fact that that was talked about so much, and the way I think they like positioned the show was grand. Like they, to me, there's times in shows where things happen, like even like I was pointing out, right? Like Mephisto, that was to me like a happy coincidence where there's lots of stuff, but then when they do the reveal in WandaVision, you go, okay, it's not Mephisto, right? If like that was a fan theory, where this literally to me was egging on like who's the Ripper, or just like always breadcrumbs of about the Ripper, this and that. It's just like this wasn't even needed. And again, if this was just needed to give this other cop some story, cut this all out. Take the Ripper out, take the cop out, anything like it didn't go anywhere. But yeah, but that was my point of why I do think it's just a person. They're gonna find the ID and that's it. Is I think Dexter will still be in New York, but I think we're at least gonna get a few episodes. I don't know how many of him in different locations, right? So I don't think that. Like I don't know. I don't even know if New York's gonna be his home base. So it's like I don't think the New York Rippers would even tie in or anything. So yeah, just such a like I feel like the last 15 minutes had a lot of that, but that was like when the name came up and it was like, and it's just like John Schmidt. It's like okay, cool. It's nobody. What's that supposed to mean? Like the only way you can do that if it was like yeah Jonah Miller this or that, but it's like
Yeah.
it wasn't any of that. It's just some guy, and it's like. All right, I guess, and I guess maybe because Dexter took the files, I guess that guy's not dead and he's still out there. So I guess, granted, you could do a thing where Dexter is taking out these killers. That cop goes to arrest the Ripper. The Ripper like kills her, and he's on the run. And maybe Dexter decides, "Oh, I'm going to come back and catch the Ripper." So you could do something with the Ripper. I just think the way they set it up here was not. I don't know, not intriguing at all. But again, like I said, if we get my wish of they do somehow do the Ripper storyline, and it's just like because I think now to me it would be a newly cast actor. I don't think it would be Blessing or like Harrison's girlfriend. Like I don't think anything of that was set up. So and I don't think they were going that way. So
Yeah.
there you go, New York Ripper.
Hardly knew ye.
revealed. Yeah, I really hardly knew ye. My other note I had too in that scene, which was I kind of understand, but the alarms go off and one cop like walks in the vault, and the first thing they see is John Wayne Gacy's clown outfit. Now, granted, maybe this cop's like a professional; they just know right away that's his outfit. But she walks in, sees his clown outfit, and she's like, "We're gonna have to call this in." You don't know what this is before they see Batista. You don't know what this guy's fucking collecting. And even then, without no dead body, like until you see like the actual like weapons and files, if you just have like a bunch of guns and knives, it's like,
Yeah.
what is that? Just most of America? Like, why is it like we got to call this in? And like, of course, the partner's like, can't call anybody in. We're all here. It's like, yeah, right, cool,
Fuck. Forgot about that line. That's
Yeah.
so stupid.
yeah.
The note I had was one of the files like that he's going through at the end, just some of the names. The one that really stood out to me was the Midnight Mangler. I like that name.
Oh, I should have looked for them more. You know,
There was
so.
Yonkers Slayer. And
The
then,
Yonkers. Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah,
And then it was just like Al for Rapunzel. Al
Yeah, which,
Walker,
again,
is the
that-
first name.
yeah, which I do like. We talked about that where I didn't want the Lila season 2 ending where he just like, hey, Alan, I got a plane to catch. Like, I think that's a fun mini boss, especially from Al's perspective. When you could do
Yeah.
it, him seeing the news that Prater is dead. I think that's a fun dynamic there,
His
right?
boat's missing.
Yeah, and I think that yeah, his boat. Yeah, I love that boat. Maybe Dexter's gonna take his helicopter next. You know, he's gonna fly over to Al's place. But like, there could even be a fun dynamic where they bump into each other, and the wife thinks they're friends, so he like has dinner with Al and his family. Like, that's a fun,
It's like
solid
a
episode right
Trinity
there.
Dynamic.
E-
if he's getting
exactly,
into the
right?
family.
Yeah, so I think that's a fun one. So I'm glad they kept that there. And again, that idea of him going around getting killers, I think that's actually a really fun idea. That's what I'd like the show more to be, where even though we're in this big world now, right? Where even the dinner of serial killers was a big stretch. It's like we're already there. Just rock with it. And this is even more like this. I feel is more believable than like we're getting killers together to have dinner and stuff. Like this feels a bit more believable, but at least it's like let's just go more into like the Dexter as like a action, adventure sort of character now. Get away from whatever. And there's Al. I would love it if he I said this before, I don't love this character, but we're out of characters. I'd love it if he's in one of these cities and he bumps into Lumen. I know you're watching right now, but like Lumen's still out there. I'd love that. We still got Aster and Cody. Like, don't get me wrong. There's tons you can still do with the show. Like if this season was
Quinn
great.
and
Yeah,
Masuka,
Quinn and
don't forget.
Masuka's there, like a bunch of stuff. Like, there's tons of stuff you can do. It's just that this season was not the greatest quality, but I do like that idea of him just going out taking random killers, and you could get some just like this season. Even though it was a little like blotchy, I liked all the actors they got. Like we got Kristen Ritter and Neil Patrick Harris and
stacked.
David Dastmalchian, and then the guy from Modern Family, and even Peter Dinklage. Like, and same with the Uma Thurman. I kind of wish she could just end up being one of the killers. Like, if we could get that again, where we get another season of 3 to 4 great actors, it's like okay, there could at least be some fun there, and that's why it's like there is still some good in this season. It's just I think the bad just heavily outweighed the good and the fun times that happened. But
You know, it'd be a fun
you go ahead.
cast in there is Love from You, Victoria.
Oh, she'd be great.
whatever her
Yeah.
name is.
I've always wanted, you never watched the show, but I always wanted Peter Caruso. He played his brother. Michael C. Hall did a show called 6 Feet Under where he's a funeral director before Dexter, and they played brothers. I always wanted that, but it didn't happen. Let me see. He asked if Taylor liked the season, I think, or liked the episode. I think he said, what was his? He said, I liked it more than I thought, but definitely had some laughing moments. And laughing, he was talking in the sense of not a good sort of laughing. So I think he's similar to us, where I think he definitely enjoyed it more, but I think there's some moments that are like head scratching. But says, I've enjoyed talking about this junk with y'all for 9 weeks, and thank you, even though you're roasted. I hate that, because, and again, I got our retros. You can even go back to our New Blood reviews, even though there's probably like some minor roasting. I can't say we absolutely love that show. I love that show, so I don't want to speak for the boys, but we enjoyed that much more, and those were much more positive. And even you guys were more positive on Original Sin, so I think this one just had some big stuff. But yeah, if season 2 happens, we'll be here. And I know you join us for GV Day, but yeah, anyone that's listening to this, join us for other reviews and whatnot. We'll be doing that. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Go
I
ahead.
looked it up. The last name on the file that I didn't say was the Jaw Splitter.
The what?
The Jaw Splitter.
Oh, okay. I thought you said the Jaw Splitter. I'm like, what is a Jaw Splitter? The Jaw Splitter.
You don't want to
okay.
know.
Yeah, the Jaw Splitter. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I think that'd be
Some fun antagonists in there. You know
Yes.
the names.
And that's just the ones we saw. They could literally make those go on for seasons if they wanted to.
Yeah, like those were the 4 files that were visible, but then in the
Yeah.
scene you can see a couple more in the back. You just can't see the names.
And you
Like
could
in
even
his duffel bag there.
cheat and say there's files within the files, right?
Yeah,
You'd be like, oh,
it's
he
like
didn't-
Hermione's bag. It just goes on
absolutely. You could
forever.
say, oh, he had this other one that was like jaw splitter adjacent or whatnot. So again, I think that could be fun. It's just a wonder of what they do with the rest of the stuff, and yeah, we'll see. It's I don't know. It's gonna be interesting now with season 2 what they do here, because like I said, I think they get some bigger actors. See if they actually do the Quinn thing, because I feel like you're gonna have to, and I feel like the cops are gonna have to come back to another storyline with Harrison. That girl never went anywhere with the girl that he tried to
Oh
kiss.
my
and
god,
she
that's
turned him
right. She didn't even
down.
show up for the last 2 episodes. That's
No.
crazy.
So he's just with this girl now,
Louise.
and they were happy at the end. They were hanging out with Dexter,
Yep.
getting some dinner and stuff. So they're happy. Bless and his wife were upstairs dancing, and and Batista's last scene is that fucking cop being like, "Wait,
Man.
this belonged to Captain Batista," and put the hat in his dead fucking body. It's like, man, that's the problem with this show. Things like that. So it's like, ugh.
Yeah,
That's how he's remembered, because his fucking hat. you
to
know?
comments like, we're roasting it, but it's like, fuck, it's hard to defend. Honestly, like we're stretching too. Like,
Yes.
performance is good. Actors
That's the
like
thing.
they're giving
And
it their all.
I think the show had a lot of good visuals too at times too. I think
For
it was
sure.
it looked really good. So that's the thing, like technically well made, and I don't think I'd say other than for me, I think those 2 cops. I never really roasted too many people on the acting wise and stuff. I think all technically wise, it's made good. You
Yeah.
know, so
For sure.
all right, you won it. I'll play it, but we play it all the time. But before we rate the season. None of that though this season. Dexter didn't get laid,
That's right. He almost did with Christian
With
Ritter.
Christian Ritter
but
twice, remember?
He ran out there.
Yeah, so that's why you gotta get Lumen in there, Gotta get her back so they can get it
I didn't
on.
remember her fate, so that kind of revealed my season 5.
Sorry
enjoyment.
about that.
I was assuming she was gonna get murked, but
There's a specific way that she leaves the show, though, so that
Okay.
I'll be excited for you to be like, what?
Owen's back. Forgot about that character, her
Oh,
like
Owen.
ex fiance. I think I'm only on like episode 9, even though I feel like I've been watching it for like
It's
decades.
like a Lord of the
of-
Rings.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, sir. What would you? I'll go.
Yeah.
No, I'll go first
You
because I
go
think I'm
first.
probably lower, and I like to try and end on a higher note. I honestly feel like this should be a lower grade. I'm gonna be nice and give it this, but I still feel like it should be lower. So I'm gonna think more time to stew and think on it. Oh, even saying this, I feel like it should be lower. I'm gonna go more negative again. I'm gonna give this a 3.5
Hmm.
out of 10. Again, the technical stuff is good. I think there's sporadically scenes in there, but I think it's just a combo of stuff that hurt New Blood, stuff that hurt the original show, stuff within this show. And I said it to John when he was in the Discord, like, oh, it's that bad. And he's like, oh, I was looking up to there. I should have known, we should have known for the people that disliked it. That first episode, when they did all that, getting us out of New Blood and retconning and how Dexter's a free man, I should have
Oh,
known,
man.
like, this is what's going to happen, right? But I thought, okay, maybe, I don't get me wrong, that was huge dogs against the show, but I thought, okay, they ended the show, they killed Dexter, they had no way out of it, so they had to make a bad episode, that's why they put the ghost in there, but I'll give them that, let's see how it goes. But I think that episode is a good bottle for what the show is, where there's good kernels like the Brian thing in this episode, but then there's a lot of rules or character motivations that don't make sense or things that are forgotten about. So yeah, I'll go with 3.5. I'm just an extra 3.5. That's generous. I almost gave it a 4, but like I said, because last week I knew when Batista died, it was at least a 4.9. I said I could not pass the season, and it's not just because like I love Angel Batista. No, it's just the way that it went about and how they were prepping us. So it's like, the only way you can say this is if he's alive for at least another season, so you can give us more time with the storyline and the character and the dynamic. But nah, he didn't even make it to the finale, y'all. He made it to the episode, the penultimate. But yeah, and then so I think I just
he
kept
was in the
dropping
finale.
it. Right? Sorry, amigo. I'll make sure to send your daughter some fucking checks one day, because don't forget he's got a daughter, he's got a sister out there. But And everyone
That's
still
right.
thinks James Stokes is the fucking Bay Harbor Butcher.
Yep.
No redemption for James Stokes. Poor family is gonna go down. Their son's a fucking serial killer. They didn't remember those people in season 2 that are fucking bawling their eyes out at the funeral. It's just them and Dexter and LaGuardia. That's the only people there. It's like that group of his sisters that had dinner with Deb.
Yeah.
Nah, their lineage is ruined because everyone thinks their uncle, their cousin,
Oh, yeah.
their brother is the fucking Bay Harbor Butcher, and no redemption, I guess. So
No.
yeah.
Honestly, I think I'm gonna sit there with you on 3.5 out of 10.
Wow.
I was gonna go 4, and then I completely forgot about how we got from New Blood to here,
Yes.
and that actually is so egregious. Especially like Lady Cop, she's like, "Just stay out of my town, and we're fine."
Yeah.
Even
Or
though
even-
Dexter fucking murdered that cop, that
Yeah.
innocent cop, and that was
Her
that.
partner,
Friend.
friend.
Yeah. To your point, it brought down not just New Blood, like it brought down many moments from the original show. Made Dexter just look absolutely maniac.
Angel Batista's death is on her. Because I
Yeah.
said this in that premiere. I said, so anytime Dexter does this again in the future, wouldn't you be like, man, I let that guy go because he showed me some he led me to a graveyard. Kurt was already dead. Dexter killed him. So it's not like she got any justice. She got resolution on her friend. That's great. Does that warrant now other innocent people dying? Angel Batista would still be alive if she just didn't be like, yeah, you know what? He did show me this. So maybe like, go easy on him in the sentencing, maybe put him in like a nicer padded cell, but still fucking lock him up. But no,
Yeah.
Batista, who was seemingly nice to her, dead.
Yeah, so it brought down Batista
Yeah.
overall, made him look like
Somebody.
a fucking doofus. Yeah. Like not a lot of Quinn in here at all, but like just the way that he handled like Batista, like pitched it to him, and like it just seemed very uncharacteristic of how we were talking before. Like there's been many times where Quinn was very sus of Dexter. He's just like, nah, whatever, like
Yeah.
very lackadaisy with it. The introduction of like a potential interest, and I don't even know if it's that interesting, but it's something at least, whether it was the potential Ripper or just something with Blessing. Harrison's, like, did it get resolved with the landlord? Oh yeah, Dexter just scared him.
Dexter
right?
scared.
then he
Remember, put
started-
him in the kill room. With
so she's
you
just
know.
MIA. Didn't really nothing really happened with Harrison's actual love interest. Like at the end, just
Remember,
somewhat
that's
a
what he
bone.
did to.
Oh yeah, I
his
fucking
landlord,
forgot
your
about that.
favorite,
Should
the
dock another
pantyhose.
0.5 for that. But I don't know. Like it is fun to follow week to week of just how they're gonna top themselves. A lot of memes come out of it, but like
Yep.
there's just so many things that I just can't defend it. And to have this many like powerful actors in this show, and like I'm failing it, and like by a big margin.
Feels like a waste.
It's not like a 4.75 or anything, like a solid 3.5. And like there's a reason it's not just one, because like Peter Dinklage is fantastic, Michael C. Hall is fantastic, David Dumasmashian, I'm getting
David
closer with that
Dastmalchian.
one. He was fantastic. I really love the twist with the twin, like that was really fun. But like that could have been a fun thing to carry on to like majority of the season, right? And it just resolves so quickly. Yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating, and yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna rewatch the show.
No, I never will.
I never thought I was gonna rewatch New Blood, but like I kind of miss Kurt, so like part of me thinks
Yeah.
I might jump on there just for Kurt.
In my opinion, Dexter died in the fucking woods, and this is all just fan fiction. This is a very
Like a dream sequence, or
Yeah.
like a life before.
yeah,
whatever the
he's
hell
in
it's
purgatory,
Purgatory,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, he's just thinking about like, yeah, like I like to think that Michael C. Hall and his friends got a bunch of money, and they're just like, let's just make a fan film, let's do that. Like that's what I'm thinking this is, because this is. And this is like the tip of the iceberg. If we keep going, it's like, man, but that's why I think we do these, because we do have a love for that original show. But these have been fun reviews regardless, right? Where if we weren't having fun, that's where if the show sucked and we weren't having fun, then yeah, we wouldn't be doing that. We sometimes still do bigger reviews for the sake of the business, but if we don't want to do it, we're not going to do it. But it was a good time. I never thought when this podcast started we would be reviewing any new Dexter, and we've now reviewed 3 new seasons, whether it's original sin, New Blood, and this, and we'll see what happens with Dexter Resurrection season 2 if it gets another one. Obviously, in the future on a cast, we'll get Taylor's full thoughts and what we've been watching news and whatnot. But yeah, and then on Monday I will rank the seasons. I will take a long hard look. But yeah, I think with that score, you kind of know where this one's gonna rank because I don't know if I have one that low. And don't get me wrong, like I said before, I think there are seasons that are technically made worse, but just some big some big drops in this one. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe Dexter Resurrection we'll be talking about next year. Who knows? Thank you very much to everyone that tuned in for this series. I promise when you hear from us next, it'll not be boring.